We're going to look at another case of drawing triangles today. This time we're going to use a ruler and compass. So we use a ruler and compass when we're given a side, side, side. So this is SSS. I'm giving you these acronyms in the last few videos because you're going to see these kind of pop up again when we talk about triangles in terms of congruence and similarity. So we're going to look at example one, where we draw a triangle ABC, where AB is 4 centimeters, BC is 3 centimeters, and AC is 5 centimeters. So first step, if we can read there, we're going to draw and label one side using our ruler. We've been keeping it pretty standard with labeling side AB, so I'm going to keep doing that because we'll keep using that little information when we start doing more construction. So if we keep the same way we're going to do everything, it'll make our lives just a lot easier. So first step here, drawing my line AB, which is 4 centimeters. There we go. Lastly, step one, let's label. So A and B, and we can even put our little 4 centimeters, give a little check mark, and cross off that we've done that 4 centimeters, so we know next one we do is next. So set the compass to one side, so now we're going to have to use a compass, right? So grab out our compass and set it up if you haven't already. So to one of the side lengths using a ruler. So it said one of the side lengths. Well, the next thing on our list is BC, which is 3 centimeters. So using what we know about how to accurately set this up, I'm putting my point at 0, right? And then I'm just extending my compass out till I get 3 centimeters. Mine's a touch off. Yours will be a much more accurate. It doesn't just snap into place. So here, we are drawing an arc from the required endpoint. So here, we're doing BC, and we're doing it from the endpoint here. So I'm just doing this arc in blue, okay? I'm going to do each step in a different color. So here, we're going to draw an arc. Since you don't know where it's going, I'm just drawing an arc pretty large. We're not going to draw them this big in the future, but it'll be kind of proof that it doesn't matter. I'll actually do one more, and I'm just going to draw a full circle. This way you can kind of see where this comes to. So if you think, I don't know where I should draw my marks, where should I start? I'm really stuck. Well, kind of follow along this. So if you can draw circles, you just kind of make everything messy after. So this is why we say draw arcs and not circles. So we want to repeat step 2 for the other side length and the other endpoint. Well, if we look back up at our question, AC was 5 centimeters. Okay, so here we want to bring back our compass, set it back to our ruler, and we're going to extend it out 5 centimeters. As accurate as possible. So there. I'm going to do this third step in green. So we're going to place it at A, like drawing AC, so you kind of give you an idea. You're always going to put it on the pivot point and then draw to our other mark. So here, let's draw another big circle. And now I'm going to remove my compass. Okay. So now we want to draw a line from each endpoint in step 1 to where the arcs intersect. Well, our arcs intersect, if you notice, actually in 2 places. So we just want one of the 2 places. So we can either pick this point of intersection or this point of intersection. Does not matter. To make it easy, I'm just going to draw our top one, because if we could do it for both, but all we'd end up getting is really a triangle or 2 different triangles, right? That just be flipped on each other. So from our endpoint to our intersection, we draw it, and then from our other endpoint to our intersection point. Now, you can notice one thing. I'm just putting in my labels while I talk. You can notice one thing about this is you'll see this triangle pop up again and again. This is what's called a Pythagorean triple, where they end up being perfect squares. So 3 squared plus 4 squared equals 5 squared. That's a whole different topic, but this is kind of where a bunch of topics kind of start to intermix. Okay, so we're done that example. We've drawn our triangle. Uh, let's do a second example. Okay, so draw a triangle ABC. So AB is 3.5. So first off, draw our AB and label it as 3.5. So there, I'm just gonna move the ruler over a touch. Just check that I drew it. So yeah, that's 3.5. So now we want to grab our compass out. I'm just gonna grab our compass from up top. And we'll move it down. If anybody can remember, if you can remember our next step, we put it over here. Our next is, we want this at 2.5, so I'm just going to switch that around. Place it down and measure out 2.5. So that's really as close as we're going to get it for this. So here, put our tip there, and this time we kind of know where our arcs are supposed to line up, so we can kind of take that advantage. So here, I'm just going to, oh no. So if you end up moving it at any stage, you got to reset it, go back. That's the part that most people don't like about constructions is the compass is really finicky and it can, on a whim, just extend on you. That's why you want to put enough pressure, but not too much. So here, draw an arc just there this time. Now bring back, once you've drawn your arc, bring your compass back and reset it to the last measurements you have to take. So here, I got to extend it to 4. Let me take it back over here, and we draw our other arc. So notice we didn't actually need to do our full arcs like I've shown you. And last step is we're gonna connect our lines together, right? So here to where they intersect and where it intersects. So we have drawn our triangle now with those measurements. Here is now 3 questions for you to practice. Once you're done, we'll take them up. So press the video when you're ready, press play. All right, so welcome back. I've gone ahead and I've drawn just my first AB on each situation just to save some time. So here we now have got to go back and we've got to set our compass at each of the other measurements and draw little arcs. So first one we're going to do is 5. Set up at 5. Put it on your point B. And then we're going to start to make our arc. So make our arc. We're going to reset it. And then we're going to do the same thing for our other one for 6. So put it here, switch it over, and we're going to put it up at 6. Okay. We're going to put out our A point and then draw our other arc. Okay. Lastly, we're just going to take our endpoints here and we're going to connect them up at our overlap and label this point C. Then we can label this 4 centimeters, 5 centimeters, and lastly 6 centimeters. Right. Next one down. Question 2. So same thing, I've drawn the 3 centimeter line already. So we're going to start off with our compass and set it to 4 centimeters. So here, switch it around. I'm going to set it over to 4 centimeters. And draw our first line starting at B. So switch it over and draw our first arc, right? Then we reset our compass. And we gotta do 5 centimeters now, right? So we've got our other point where they meet, and we can connect our lines. So, oops, that didn't line up very well. I can tell you I actually find constructions a lot easier when you're doing them by hand rather than on a computer. So keep in mind, you probably, where I'm struggling is not where you're going to struggle. So you shouldn't be struggling with just making straight lines like I am. Last thing we're going to do here is we have this line, and I thought I'd take just a little bit different of an approach with this, just because. So let's just get rid of one of these rulers. We don't need two. So first thing we've done is drawn our line AB. We have to draw our next one, which is BC, which is 3.7. Now it doesn't look like I left myself enough room, but I don't really care because we're going to use something from our very first example. So this is 3.7, right? I did tell you that we could just draw our arcs. We could draw two triangles, right? So we're going to draw our arc underneath it. There's no reason we can't just draw arcs on the other side, right? Because it will form two triangles if we just draw full circles. And then we have AC is 4.2. So we have it here. Set it over 4.2. Put it on our A point and make our marks. Make sure it creates an overlap point. Oh no. So make sure it creates an overlap point. So there we go. And one thing that we can still do is label our points, right? So this is C. This would be 4.2 down here. This would be 4.2 over here. Don't forget units of centimeters, and 3.7. So you could go back and check this one because you can notice something based on the measurements, you know, same exact measurements, meaning it's isosceles triangle. Lots of things we're going to deal with recognizing triangles in the future.